We're back. Hey everybody, sorry, we were joking and laughing and having a good time talking about Starfield and other things and just enjoying our time together because we all love each other so much. And we love to make Josh's skin crawl with creepy spiders. Stop, hold on one second. There you go. You guys are now unmuted. I was just talking by myself. I am fine and my mic was working. Now you guys can talk. So say hi everybody.
Hi everybody.
Hi everybody.
We'll do some quick intros and then a little recap of what happened last week, because I am totally prepared for this week. Hey, you know what? We are improv masters here. We just fucking roll with it. I got my Cliff Notes version. We're gonna learn about Eterna together. So let's start with some intros really quick. Oh, two quick side notes as we discuss things. A couple things to make sure everybody's aware of. Hi mom. First of all, hi mom.
Hi mom.
In January, again, just to reiterate every week, we will be likely switching to a Tuesday stream. Same bat time, different bat day. So we'll be likely on Tuesdays going forward in January. And we are off next week. I will be out doing some charity stuff. I'm doing really hard charity by going to play golf for charity.
Woo.
So twist my arm and make me go do charitable giving by playing golf and drinking beers instead of working. Oh no. So let's do some intros around the horn. We'll start with David.
Hey everybody, I'm David. I play Batra Neural, the human witch warlock, and I am asleep.
Snore mode. We are rolling to see who goes next. Sarah.
Oh, hi. I'm Sarah. I play Maximiel, the tiefling sorceress bard.
And then Nate.
Hi, I'm Nate. I play Soren, the half-elf blade singer rogue.
Zach.
Hey everyone, I'm Zach. I play Doran, the dragonborn barbarian.
Maddie.
Hello, I'm Maddie. I play Isadora, the gun tank half-elf gunslinger.
And finally, because the dice hate him, Josh.
Oh, they always hate me. I'm cursed. Josh, I play Jaeger Hellstrom, the human alchemist gunslinger.
All right. And I'm going to group talk about last week because I got to go reach over to my dice really fast. So what happened last week, guys? We kind of showed up in a weird place and we're dealing with the fact that we're
Boy, howdy.
in Eterna.
We are going to Eppen.
Oh, you are
to Riege.
We're in Eppen.
We are
just
in
left
Eppen.
We're going
We
to
just left
Valecor
Eppen.
Haven. Valecor
Yes.
Haven.
Valecor or Valecor?
Valecors.
Valecor.
Velcro.
The Spires of Valecor.
Velcro's Harbor. And
Yep.
You know, I watched
Riege.
I literally watched like a
There's a
new
lot
video.
of plot hooks in Velcro's Haven.
Velcro's.
See, I watched the Wired interview today that came out like a week or two ago with the cast of Critical Role. That was, you know what the Google autocomplete about Critical Role. And there was a question for Matt about how do you come up with names, and his only piece of advice was, just as everybody teased him mercilessly for like 2 minutes about names, he was just like, whatever you do, say the names out loud like 10 times before you say it to your players, because they will tease you mercilessly. So, I mean,
I saw that one.
we got
I immediately thought of you.
Velcro's Haven, all the way back to fucking episode 1, and Midatona.
Fart horn. Fart horn.
I listened to myself on
Fart
that one.
horn.
I caught that one myself, and then I made the mistake of
Yeah.
being like, I totally
But then you
renamed
told
this. And
Yep.
I
Doug, you're
told
on
you
grave.
guys, like, terrible people.
Farthorn actually sounds really cool and nerdy and
does.
fantasy.
It does.
It really fits, it's really
sucks
neat,
in
but
writing.
fart horn.
Fart horn.
The moment
So we're in
you hear it,
Eterna.
You're like, yeah.
the
We're
Abigail
in
tried to
Eterna.
kidnap us. They were going to take us to one of the spires on the Hoyasin, the big floating rocks.
We
and
basically
we,
had him at our mercy.
we
Ugh.
slaughtered him.
They really Jaeger
Just
shot
kill
off
the
his
man.
hands. And
Jaeger
Jaeger
Farthorn
literally
mercilessly
disarmed him.
shot off his hand. He just
very
handed him.
gracefully put him out of his
Yeah.
misery.
Yeah,
Both hands. Bye bye.
Oh, we
And
lost Sarah.
face.
yeah.
Yeah, she's having camera issues.
Sarah's having a couple
This
some
is-
technical
this is not a
difficulties
safe
today.
space for hands.
This is absolutely not a safe space for hands when they're covered in black. Then they will be shot off.
We heard about how King
Dushind Wesserol?
Dushind Westerol.
Westerol.
Yeah.
Dushind Westerol. Douche Westerol. It has a guard of...
We're
Oh,
not calling him that. We're not
oh
calling him
no! The stream is having so many technical issues tonight, guys. I might just shut down.
that. We're not calling him that because
Way to
Max's
come
sister works with him, and we want them to like us.
You don't want to call him douche aerosol or something? God.
We learned that the Stella Tenuum are part of the King's Guard, and that they are kind of
Yes.
constantly at war with the Ebon Hand, who are also somehow part of the government here, which...
He's the cousin of Baron Bidet, right?
Baron von Evil Satan, yeah.
And then Batrin had some very iconic lines for us.
going away
A
so
few of
fast.
them I wrote down. I need some soup.
Yeah.
Cecilia, not sure who that is. He looked very pale. For Batrin, who is already very pale, moving tattoos,
Definitely
stuff like
called
that. Very
definitely called
concerning
Sparkle
symptoms.
Spackle or Spackle
Yeah.
Sparkle like
Spackle
2 or 3
Sparkle.
times.
Yeah.
And
Back
also said that they were being hunted.
Yeah,
And that they
by
don't
something
have a soul.
in the dream, which was totally bad, and then was also like, I want to go back in, though, and we were like, okay, I guess.
And then it was recommended that we take our friend to the Spire of Dreams.
Yeah.
Spire of
Spires.
the
Spire of the
Dreamer.
Dreamer.
Yeah.
Of the dream.
The
Fire of the
Spires
Dreamer.
of Valecor.
Yeah,
What
so
else is
Valecor's
there?
Haven is where you guys were headed. The creepy Ebon Hand Changeling thing did say it was going to take you to was suggesting that you instead definitely turn your efforts to Cryptica, and that was the place where you should head to, up on one of the Hoisin.
Yeah. It was going to take us to one of the Hoisin, the
I think-
Citadel on Cryptica.
Yep, Cryptica is one of the Hoisin.
And
Apparently they'll have
at the
names.
city Abyssus,
Yep,
there was
Abyssus.
an airship.
Yeah, there was an.
Oh.
Should definitely go to
How do you
Abyssus.
spell that? Crypto what?
Cryptica. Cryptica.
Oh,
Cryptica.
nice.
I'm starting to ask ChatGPT to spell things for me phonetically, so you guys don't have to keep guessing.
Yay.
That's the one good thing I found with ChatGPT is like, hey, say this, like use this pronunciation and make it a word that makes sense, because I suck at like I can do phonetic reading, but I can't do phonetic brain stuff into word that makes sense when other people read it. Phonetic brain stuff hard.
Oh, we found out that the touched over here are called the Calche. So those
The Calche.
have they have their own version of that, which fucks up my cosmology a little bit, but I'm interested to find out about that. There are huge moths that fly between the rocks, so that's
747 size moths. They're awesome.
747 size moths, just fucking Mothra up there that just make silk trees that they make
The
gloves and
ru-
magic items and stuff out of. Which
Farrellin is the language that is their common.
yeah,
That is a language that would be handy to know.
Fairlin is the Cyorion equivalent of Undercommon, is really what it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
none of us know.
And we
So
also
if
learned that
you
a lot of
speak
them have
Undercommon,
Draconic.
then yeah, they also speak Draconic. And there's a dragon. There's a there was a Umbral dragon, I think. Was it Umbral? I gotta look at my dragon chart again.
Void.
There was a Umbrals serve the king and magmas near the maw.
Yep, there's some magma dragons near the maw. Void dragon bad.
And those were
They knew-
those were
Boy
like
Dragon
the,
Bad.
Yep,
the
they
ones-
they knew about when you guys talked about they brought up Noldrith, and you guys were like, yes, fuck that guy.
fuck that guy,
Yeah.
that guy.
The one that Max so wonderfully thought she could fix.
Oh no,
that's
Is that
no,
the
no,
one?
no, 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 no.
No,
I was
that was a
here
different
for
one.
this
That was
dragon.
Yeah.
that was the boreal dragon that we didn't get a name.
Yeah.
Monster
Noldrith
Effects.
is a shadow
Did
dragon.
you not look at the I posted the Eterna map to the art channel? Monster Effects, you should see in the upper
yeah.
right Hoisin, like sublet, like what do they call that? Like a sub image, like it's inside the circle.
I should know this. I don't
There's
know
a
the name of that.
an inset. It should be an inset, I think. So inside of the top right inset, you can see big old lunar moth
Alright.
boy floating around.
Big old fuck off moths. Yep. Hate it.
Yeah,
Moths
actually
are cute until they're ginormous.
fairly
Oh,
nice and pettable. They're actually pretty docile. You could pet the big fuzzy moth.
because they're very fluffy. Yes.
That's true. They are fluffy. They're kind of cute.
Very fluffy.
Fortunate.
There's a. I suggest looking up poodle moth.
Poodle moth.
Poodle
All right.
moth?
Favorite
Look
moth
up
is
poodle
definitely the
moth.
hummingbird moth. Super cool.
Oh
moth.
yeah, these ones. These are super cute. I love these guys.
They're so cute.
But anyways,
It's funny that
Therese,
have, like,
Oh,
Therese is
the
not dead.
perception of moths. Therese is not dead.
Therese, Therese was locked up in a box.
He
Yes.
was in a box, and I got him.
not
out.
dead.
You got him out, and he's back now, and he's like, "Yeah, you should totally not go to those places that they said, and definitely keep going the direction we were talking about going." And was the one that suggested that you take Botrin to the Spire of the Dreamer. Oh.
And
Well-
to which we responded, "The fucking what now?"
the what?
Yeah.
The what?
I'm sorry, the what now?
The fucking what? Left off
I
with
do
the
pressure.
cliffhanger of, huh?
Everyone does the surprised Pikachu face.
Yeah.
Mhm. Squeeze me? Baking powder?
I wish we could share gifts to the Twitch chat.
Just
Most of
put
our
him in
session-
the
They're
general
missing
chat.
out. They're
Most of our
missing
sessions
out.
just spent gifting.
Yeah.
You guys and the Sunday crew, same deal. If there's not a, I have learned with online D&D, if there's not a gift chat to accompany your game session, then what are you even doing?
Mhm.
Because that's just the best. So,
We're like the ancient Egyptians. We just speak in drawings. That's
Yeah.
this is literally like, oh my gosh, the Star Trek episode, like it's returning to that. Oh my gosh, why am I drawing a blank on it?
I don't know.
A card
There's
gets
like
trapped
7
on a
billion Star Trek episodes.
I know, and I've watched too
when
many
the
of them.
walls fell. That
The
the, one you're
walls
talking
fell. Yep.
about?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Timba, his arms wide.
Yes, thank you. The episode where he's stuck on the planet. So fantastic. Anyways, yes, meme culture right there. However,
Mem.
Therese is don't you mend me. I have plenty of women in my life who like Star Trek too.
No. I said
Oh.
mem. Like memes,
Men.
not men.
Oh,
Mem.
It
Don't
really
you
sounded
mend
like
me.
you said men. I was
I
like,
thought it was.
I was
meant.
so offended.
No, dude. All,
Guys,
all
yeah, no,
of my
that makes
friends like Star Trek, okay?
She's a
And-
literal star nerd. She's a space nerd.
Come on. Sorry. I was being Gen Z,
Men.
not
She
weird.
was.
Give me that.
She's a meme lord.
A Mimi Lord?
Yes.
Fuck
meme
off.
Don't
lord.
say it
When
like,
the
don't
walls
say it
fell.
like that. Oh
What? Aren't you a huge Mimi fan?
no, I don't like that. I don't like the way you said that.
I'm not.
It makes me uncomfy.
Okay, so
Are you not a fan of the Maymays?
I'm not. No.
The memes.
That's
I don't think this
even worse.
session's even
Meme.
found the rails yet, so we can't have gone off of them.
roller
We're just
coaster.
going down a hill.
It's just we are winning on episode 71, people.
We are off to a great start.
Okay.
Well,
I'm
it is 6 days of travel, right?
You guys
Oh,
have some
by
time
the
to
way,
travel, and
Do we
Botrin.
get,
right.
we get some
Fuck.
travel RP time this
Botrin.
session?
Well, if we could stop talking about maymays, and get to it.
Never gonna happen.
You guys do have 6 days to get there, and Botrin's unconscious. Therese says it'll take you about 6 days to get there. Strangely, he does say it'll take a little less than a week to get there.
Okay.
You all know in Cyorion for a week to be 8 days. Well, he says it'll take a little less than a week. Doesn't sound weird to you until you remember you're not in Cyorion, you're in Eterna. But you now know that Cyorion and Eterna, you have to do all that good stuff.
Right.
I don't have to reiterate.
Do we get the sense that might be a different time scale for them?
You don't. He says a little less than a week. Take back 6 days. They have
Okay.
some sort of way to measure the days.
Yeah, they have the little magic like sync up clock thing that they have.
Yep,
Right?
they do.
Yeah.
But-
I have something I'd like to do.
absolutely.
Isadora is going to find Soren and is going
perfect.
to very politely ask, "Hello, would now be a good time for us to practice our
I was actually
Elven?"
just getting ready. Yes. I've actually taught anybody an entire language before, but are you familiar with at least the basics?
Yes, so like I know
Okay.
the language. What I struggle most with is like a lot of pronunciation.
Good stuff. I can work from
I
there.
and not just that, it's like because I'm embarrassed of my like I am practically on my mother's accent, and if you can imagine her accent, it's just Jaeger's accent.
Oh.
That's basically the accent that she had, and so from time to time it'll kind of sneak up and come out, and I've just entirely lost my father's accent, like entirely, and so because I'm embarrassed speaking it in any situation, because you know how especially like pureblood elves are really kind of snooty sometimes about how you.
Well, I met a handful, but yes, I understand what you mean.
Yeah, so it just basically led to me not using the language at all, which made me very rusty.
Soren, did you mostly know wood elves?
Yeah.
Yeah. they're-
With the exception of the mentor, yeah, it would have been like mom and then like a few others from her.
so you've met maybe like one high elf noble.
Yeah.
So for her to say
Oh.
snooty, or for her to say snooty, catches you kind of like off guard. She clearly knows different elves than you.
Yeah. I was just like, I don't know. Right. Well, let's start with conversation basics, and then we'll
Yeah,
just sort of go
yeah.
down the like ingratiating someone into a language, trying to have them break off the rust of a skill that they already kind of possess and are just sort of rusty with.
So thankfully, since you do have Elvish as a known language, but you just haven't spoken it for a long time, I need you to make an intelligence check at advantage, please. Just a straight up intelligence check. Since you are not you, sorry.
Oh, her. Got it.
Isadora. You speak the language fluently. It's just whether or not she can pick up on the nuance and understand things. So go ahead and do an intelligence check at advantage. And since you already know the language, I'm going to give you a bonus of your proficiency as well.
What do I press again to bring
So
up
if
the
you-
modified window?
If you mouse over int up there, you'll see the left one says mod. You can just click that,
Yeah.
and it'll do a roll for you. And then you can hit the plus over the chat box and do it again at advantage. So a 13 total.
13? Oh, proficiency.
Yep, with her proficiency. Soren. Just give me an emphasis check. This is gonna be
Okay.
how good of a teacher you were.
All over the place. 12 and an 8. Reroll, right?
Reroll. Yep.
Okay. Fuck. 20 and a 9.
So, while Soren was a fantastic teacher and you're starting to pick up on some of it again, you're finding yourself tongue-tied, Isadora. Like, there's probably another week of this work would get you back into it, but you are breaking old habits, and it's tough. So, during downtime, as you guys are helping about the ship, but still taking a couple hours a day to have conversations for the next 6 days, you just find it hard to break that old dialect you've picked up and get your actual like accent and tongue for it back. You find yourself stumbling over some words, but you're getting there. You could stumble through a conversation. It would definitely sound like it would be like me going to Japan and just full on white person arigato. You know? Konnichiwa.
That's what she's afraid of.
That's right in the realm of where you're at right now.
Throughout our expedition, Soren Isidore is going to approach him in passing conversation aside from these lessons and just be like, okay, so let's just say I'm trying to tell someone like and I'm gonna say this in an awful accent. It's it's really tunny outside. How can I make that? I need help with my pronunciation. How would you say that?
Donde está las
just kind of-
biblioteca?
Just trying to not show the twinge. Right. So, and then just work through the So it's a little. You want to enunciate certain parts of the word, and let certain other ones flow into each other. It's a. Oh God.
Don't put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you give me like an example sentence that you would say that would really show a lot of that emphasis that you have when you speak Elvish?
So let's start with a basic sentence. We are here in Eterna.
We are here in Eterna.
Here. It's you almost sort of cut off certain phrases, syllables, things that just don't they stop the word. They make it sort of punchy. You want to get rid of those and let them sort of blend into one another.
It almost sounds like hiya as she says here. It's kind of hiya. Hiya.
This is the whole time just thinking, I'm not a fucking linguist. I don't know what I'm doing. God, I hope this is all right.
We are here in Eterna.
In Eterna. Yes,
In
good. That was good. That was very good.
Eterna.
Eterna. Yes.
Eterna.
All right. Go.
Yeah.
Who else?
Okay,
Who else
okay,
knows not English? Elvish.
We don't-
I think
It's
Doran knows
British.
Elvish, right?
The
It's
worst
British.
the worst part that's throwing you off is like the consonants she's trying to drop. You hear the sharpness of infernal coming through,
Yeah.
and you're picking up her other accents that she's gotten along the way. And
no.
like those bits of infernal punch on consonants is coming through, and you're because you both speak infernal and Elvish, you feel it as wrong as it is, but you can also understand how naturally she could like flow into that.
Accidentally just slip into the wrong yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
yeah, I
very
guess
good. Go show
Yeah,
Doran.
I'll go. Yeah, I'll go talk to Doran about it. Maybe he'll have some advice.
Just taking
and
notes.
then-
Work on
and then
consonants.
she just kind of, like hobbles all over the boat trying to find Doran. Where does she find Doran? Doran, what are you doing?
How big a ship is this that we're on? Is it
So this is
like
basically like a fishing skiff. It's about a 2-man vessel, but it's probably about a 35, 40 foot ship. He would use it to haul mostly cargo, like fresh fish, back with him. He has about 2/3 of his normal haul, so it's pretty fishy and stinky in the hold, but he's done the best he can to like make some room for you guys that doesn't smell, that's got open cargo area from the top, so you're getting more of the breeze, but it still just stinks to high hell inside the hold of the ship. So on the deck is mostly where you'd want to stay.
Doran would be on the aft deck, watching the wake of the boat.
Okay. Isadora just kind of like, she's obviously feeling really awkward about, first of all, asking for advice on something that she feels like she should know about, but like also she's like
Can I get
asking something of you.
a brief pause, because Doran back here, the only person in this group with sailing experience, I need you to make a perception check for me, because you're at the aft of the boat just watching.
Perception check. Oh dear.
What was that
I
now
don't
for the
have
stream?
any kind of. It was a crit fumble, natural 1.
Thankfully, it's not Pathfinder yet. You don't step down a failure, but I mean that is a 3 for your perception. There is something fucked up about the way the water moves here, and you can't put your finger on it.
That was,
Edoran?
Oh, hello, Isadora.
What are you
Well, just
what are you doing?
admiring the view, the way the water kind of. I don't know what the water is doing actually.
Really? I didn't notice. you have a lot of water experience?
When I first made my escape from Woodland, I served aboard a merchant trading vessel and spent a few weeks at sea before ending up with this crew.
So, I just talked to I just talked to Soren. And...
It's okay, it happens all the time. We have these rhyming names for some reason. I don't know.
That was a fumble on my part. I just talked to Soren, and I'm not quite eloquent or in the most confident of moods because I am struggling with my pronunciation of consonants in Elvish. We were practicing. I asked him for like an example sentence, and it was like, because I remember hearing you speak Elvish, and I was like, holy crap, he's better at it than I am, and that's, you know, why I'm here. So we're practicing the word. We are here in Eterna, but it's like, how would you say that in Elvish?
Oh, well, my Elvish is, it's very passable at best. Really, I only picked it up to sort of try and help disguise my origin, but if I were to try it in Elvish, it would kind of sound something like, we're here in a turn, ain't we?
I feel like you could do better than that.
I'm off in the distance having a cup of coffee and I just drop it.
I swear, when we were dealing with the changeling, the changeling, right? Is that what they're called? I've never seen them before. I've never interacted with them before. You communicated with Soren very quickly maybe it was the heat of the moment and you just didn't give it much thought, but your pronunciation was
First thing you're going to have to know, Isidore, is in our downtime we tend to joke a lot. Don't take anything I say too seriously. That was just a joke. No, in my hang on, it's just hard to do because of my own accent and my own. Okay, hang on. How did I do this before? Picking up on Elvish is challenging, however, if you take the time and the dedication to the craft, you will be able to learn the language. Sorry,
Wow.
It's very hard for me to do that properly.
That was really good. Holy crap. Okay, so like obviously you told me it's consonants, but when I practice the sentence, we are here in Eterna, what sticks out to you as needing improvement?
We are here in Eterna. Make sure you have the proper breathiness to the consonant here. We are here in Eterna.
We are here in Eterna. Eterna.
It's very good. Eterna.
Eterna.
Sounding good to me.
Okay, yeah. Actually, I think I'm getting the hang of it. Thank you. That was really good. Soren, unfortunately, the poor soul, I'm just driving him mad. And I'm driving him mad, actually. And he can only handle me for so long. So I thought I'd spread the workload and my questions amongst the two of you. Thank you.
It's very fair. Just keep in mind, Soren's temperament is not necessarily that of a great teacher. I find most great teachers have to have a vast wealth of patience, and it feels like sometimes Soren does not. So just bear with him, as he is most likely trying his best to be patient with you.
He really is. I appreciate so much what he's doing for me. This is He's the reason I'm able to even practice at all. Because I mean, I wouldn't be if he hadn't agreed to in the first place. So whatever he can provide, I will take. And he's a great teacher, actually. He is great at instruction. It's me who is kind of
I have the utmost
tongue
faith
tie.
in you, Isadora. I believe that you can do anything you set your mind to.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This was very, very constructive. And I will probably have more questions later.
Of course.
You have fun watching the water. You let me know. Let me know if you found anything interesting.
While Isadora is working on her language skills with with Doran and Soren, both separately, Botrin has been unconscious for a while now. This is, we're gonna still say in the first day, even though we did the roll for the whole week, we're gonna still say that first day, so we're not going away from that too quickly. But Maximiel and Jaeger, what are you two up to during this like first day of downtime as we're kind of figuring out what's going on?
Okay, I'll go. I will be wherever Botrin is.
Okay.
And meticulously taking every bit of hardware I have apart, cleaning, redoing all of my bombs, shortening fuses, making some emergency type of explosives, I guess.
Okay.
But cleaning the gun, making sure everything's working, and just tearing everything apart, almost as if he's prepping for war.
Okay. Maximiel, what are you up to?
Max is going to cast Sending
Okay.
twice.
Ooh.
I know you had sent me those
Yes,
before,
I can.
so you
I'll
don't need
just-
to repeat them live unless you would like to.
I'll repeat it live. I mean,
Okay.
she
good.
wasn't necessarily saying it privately. I just sent them to you in case we skipped over this period. So Max is gonna be somewhere on the ship where she's not really disturbing anyone, but she's not necessarily hiding either. So like, Jaeger can probably hear, and possibly Soren if he's not teaching Isadora Elvish. But she's going to deeply inhale. Hello, sister. I know there's no proof of me being me yet. Apologies for worrying you. I got excited. You didn't exist 2 months ago.
No
now
response
I can hear
from the
your
first one.
voice. I escaped the Ebon Hand a year ago. I travel with the Midnight Parliament. See you soon. Love, Max.
You feel the spell complete because you know what it feels like as that spell concludes and reaches its target. But they're both, unlike the communication to a certain friend of yours back in Katya, who was unconscious at the time and did not receive those messages. These ones, you know, the spell completes. She is aware of them, and silence is all that comes back to you. She did say to you in the last message that not to reach out to her again, that she had no belief in what you were saying, but you can see what happens in the future.
Yep. I just wanted to clear the air, let her know that I knew it was weird. I guess.
Yeah. Jaeger, as you're continuing to work, you see that Botrin is still laying on the deck. I think someone threw a blanket over Botrin at one point, but still just kind of laying in a fetal position, and Spackle is nonchalantly painting. The ink set that does tattoos has become a paint set as she's painting on the side of the ship, just drawing scenes of something. And upon any closer scrutiny, She looks back to you as you kind of glance at the paintings and just says,
The dream here is so strange.
and Watrin, can you describe what Spackle's painting the Jaeger?
The images that she's painting on the side of the ship, the wood, are really kind of abstract and kind of fuzzy in that watercolor kind of way. And you'll notice every now and then as Spackle uses the paintbrush, she'll take it back and then she'll flick it forward to sort of spatter the images that she's painting with sort of speckles of paint. But it looks like a very sort of cloudy, swampy forest, and there's a figure with wild waving hair that appears to be fleeing. So it's very odd and strange looking, and it has a sort of element of fright about it, but the colors are wrong. The colors are too colorful. It doesn't sort of mesh up too well. Do you know what I mean? It's a very sort of like pastel and impressionistic kind of image, but it's also makes your skin crawl.
Do I have to go cross-eyed and get really close to it and then start backing away and then the image shows up?
Yeah. Do you see the boat? Do you see the boat?
I see it.
It's not a schooner, it's a sailboat.
I'll just try and get Spackle's attention. Hey, I know this is kind of weird, but what do you mean the dreams aren't, you said like normal or whatever, but is that Botron running?
Batrin, just to throw an extra wrench for all of our extra players, I'm going to ask that you do not control Spackle in this moment because you are not on this plane.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
Atrin seems scared. He can run really fast.
What are they running from?
Scary things.
Shouldn't we all help?
Oh, we can't help. Atrin's not here.
And just look to Botron's body. Not here?
No. That's not really Botron. Botron's not here.
What?
Oh, no, not like the shifty friend. No. Botron's just gone from that host.
Hold that thought for a moment.
How do you hold a thought?
Just keep painting.
Okay, I like painting.
Yeah, okay. I will throw message to literally everyone, and they'll just be in succession. You need to get in here right now. And everyone will get an independent ping.
I'd run, assuming
Yeah.
it's another fucking changeling.
I hate
What?
that.
What?
Okay,
What?
what's my
Who do you
Within
have to kill?
moments,
on.
everybody's ready to battle, coming to the deck of the ship.
Isadora has another "That's so Raven" moment. Like, she's just not used to hearing other people's thoughts in her head. So she's like,
It looks really weird because, you know, the twisting like kaleidoscope as it goes into the eye, there's only one eye for it to go into. Sometimes it goes into the wrong one, and it just like throws the entire cutover off.
It's just patch and it just like bounces off.
just eye patch.
The cameraman goes, "Ow!"
Breaks the lens.
very Mel Brooks?
So what's up?
There's I mean, this is a concern, but we don't have to fight anything yet.
Oh god. All right.
Yet.
Yeah.
Voice
Watch-
of words definitely need some work.
Well, Spackle's been painting, which is not. I mean,
That's
it is
nice.
odd, but
Yeah, that's
painting Botron running from
It's
clearly something.
nice until you all glance at it and realize it's pretty much a horror. It's reminiscent of the Scream, and just looks horrifying.
That's what I pictured. It was sounding
Yeah.
like the Scream. Looking at it, just quietly mouth.
Oh, you're
Fuck.
really good at art.
Spackle
It's
finishes a part of this newest drawing, and looks back at the lot of you.
They look really nice together.
Botron, can you describe what this scene looks like?
It's similar to the foggy swamp thing before, but it's sort of gotten a lot rockier, a lot hillier, and there seems to be in the image Botron has a little girl by the hand, and they're trying to climb out of the danger zone.
I'm in out danger zone.
We're super memey today.
Really good. I like it.
You want ants? Because that's how you get ants.
Stay
Okay.
in the danger zone so you get ants.
Little girl out of danger zone.
The
Does the-
concerning thing here is that Botron isn't with us.
As in their soul in here?
I believe that's what Spackle just told me, and hence why I called you all kind of quickly. Is that this is a vessel?
But Botron hasn't had a soul for a hot second, according to them.
According to
but
them, yes.
this here, and I'll point to Botron on the ground. This is not Botron.
Just a
Spackle
vessel.
said Botron is not here, and apparently, this picture is what Botron might be going through.
Can we help them?
But
Uh,
Botron has a soul.
What?
Where is it?
It's right there.
and where is that?
Suddenly, Josh is
What?
got Botron's soul creeping up behind him. Spackle points to the painting. Botron, can you describe the shadowy, terrible creatures that are chasing Spackle, or not Spackle, I'm sorry, that are chasing Botron and this girl through the painting?
They're sort of amorphous shadows. They don't have faces, but they have eyes. The eyes are the eyes bleed light and smoke, and you can't really tell from the painting, but you get the impression that they move very, very quickly. They flit from corner to corner, and if you kind of look at them side-eyed or out of the corner of your eye, they take on much more of a frightening shape.
I need everybody
get-
on the deck of the ship to make a wisdom saving throw while Botron finishes this description.
That's fair.
Yay!
I'm having a bad time.
You get the impression that the image of Botron in the painting is doing everything within his power to get as far away from them as possible. That if they touch him, that will end him.
I would like to do something if I could in this moment.
He's running for his life.
I need Maximil's wisdom save.
7.
7. Boy.
I am so bad at wisdom
Ooh.
saves.
We all had a little bit of a hard time with that one.
If
18.
the wisdom save does not prevent me from
No,
doing
Jaeger.
something, I'd like to do something.
What the wisdom save has you do is in that moment as you look at the shadows, these creatures that are moving through, and Spackle speaks up.
Botron has lots of soul out there.
And you see, and as you're shifting your perspective, you see one of the shadows move out of the corner of your eye. And if you did not get a 16, so Jaeger, you are the And Maxima, what'd you get?
7.
Everybody else, the way that the light and the shadows dance off the ship, you immediately all turn and let an attack loose at whatever creature is coming out of the shadow at you. And within that split second, as you turn and fire a cantrip, your gun shoots a basic ability, some cantrip level ability, just quickly fire off at the edge of the ship. You realize that you just shot a shadow on the edge of the ship and that there's nothing there. But as that piece of it danced through the side of your vision, you swear it started to walk out of the ship on the other side.
I would
And
like to cast a spell if I could.
Tarij immediately is like out on the deck. He's coming up from like the captain's, like where his little steerage lifted platform, leans out. He's like, "What's going on?" And then
Max immediately casts dancing lights.
what did you want to cast, Soren?
Summon Shadow Spawn.
Oh, good. Okay.
Pull out the.
You want to
the
describe what this looks like? Because this is the first time I
would
think
love
you've
to.
done this.
Pull out this little amulet of amethyst that we got back in Busat. I turn back to Sparkle. It's getting all mixed up now.
Fuck.
I would like to summon it in the configuration of fear if I could. It kind of just molds up out of my shadow and kind of drapes around me. Is it like this? Things chasing him.
Fuck that.
You look at fear. Make me an insight check.
Huh, I'm good at this. Yeah. Jesus. I forget what my insight bonus is. Is it 11 or 29?
You take one look at it, at the shadow spawn of fear. Spackle looks at it. Is a little concerned, and then you see the near same shadow spawn on the side of the vessel, but you see other ones with it moving along.
Botrin has fear in his soul, but all those
Oh,
things are chasing him. Them.
All right.
Them, I apologize, not him, them.
Right.
And all of you standing
You
there
mean-
now, like over the body of Botrin, protecting your friend as this is going on. You look back and there's labored breathing coming from Botrin, and the hair, this prehensile hair that's always been there, is laid back, almost slick and steady, not out in its fashion of just this extra creepy normal Botrin fashion, but instead it's slicked back near the body, almost in a protective shawl. But looking at it, it shakes and quivers like someone with goosebumps.
Oh.
What do these want with Botrin?
To get
Whatever
back
they
to
are.
their host.
Okay. This is Botrin's host?
I don't know.
Or no?
Therese is right. The Dreamer Spire may have answers.
Soren, in this moment, like the unsettling amount of information that this familiar has is terrifying. You know that magical familiars, whatever the magical sheath is around Cyorion, whatever plane they hail from, there's something about them that's anchored to the world, and they really just are there to serve you. This familiar knows things.
Having a fucking conversation with it, yeah. Okay. Go over to Tarish. How long until we're there?
5-6 more days, 5 days if we really push it. We
Like to,
could,
if that's possible.
We pushed it for being chased.
you could help me offload the fish, and that would save us a lot of time. And I mean, you've clearly already paid for more than I would have made in a year. I mean, I'm happy throwing it over the board. We could cut it in 4 days.
Are there people depending on the fish?
My family, and I mean, it's a
Keep the
food
fish.
source, but there's plenty
Keep the
coming.
fish. You're right.
I mean,
Okay.
As fast as we can without inconveniencing.
Valecor's
what we've
Haven
already
is
done for you.
Valecor's Haven's not starving by any means. We could let it go.
Can we put it in my bag of holding?
Oh, you
I
have
was
one of
forgetting
those.
about that.
Oh,
We could.
I mean, if you don't mind your bag smelling slightly of fish for a long time afterwards, it's fairly
I've
stinky
got
fish.
prestidigitate.
This is the kind of stink that magic does. Have you ever been around a fish market for a long time? Prestidigitation does so much, but then occasionally at the back of your nose, you just get that. You can. It's just there.
They don't really have
Yeah,
fish
I
in
think
the
the sacrifice
sands.
is worth it.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't sand.
That stuff I showed
that stuff
the
you
awful
showed me.
little-
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
we
whole
don't
place of that
have
thing.
much fish. Spiders we eat.
We have some of those. They're more keen to eat you first. And then there's the ones that are
The spiders?
then there's the ones that are melded with the Fairlin that tried dark magic, and that's a whole nother problem.
Does that sound familiar?
Oh.
I mean, phenomancy's a thing. If someone wanted to merge with a spider, that's a very real possibility.
Kind of what I was thinking. Okay, great.
Yeah, that's exactly what came to mind.
Really, really gross half human, half spider things.
Cool.
Yeah, I've seen one of those before.
Thanks, Baldur's Gate.
BG3.
I know.
For those that are uninitiated.
All right. Fish in the
Sure.
bag.
Oh,
just
fish in the bag.
there's
No fish.
I don't
Listen
want
here.
to
I
make
tell you
my-
what, to make an amends for inconveniencing you by offloading the fish, I'm just going to, and Doran's gonna toss him a platinum piece.
Giving this man
Isadora.
retirement money.
Isadora's eye is ginormous.
would you just like the ship? Like you could I have no need for anything after this. I'm gonna give the ship away to a good friend back in
Don't show anybody that, because you'll just get killed.
Yeah, you'll
I'm not
be
an
robbed.
I'm not an idiot. There are plenty of cutthroats and cut purses in the city. It's a very big city. I'll just be making my way quickly home, and we'll be finding a new place to live, somewhere in the country.
Well, there you
Just-
go.
Spend very wisely and safely, and yes, Isadora, maybe you can help me start throwing this fish overboard.
So he does have a large cargo net for offloading, which is much more effective than putting it by hand into a bag of holding. So you're able
Flinging
to.
individual
Isadora is
throwing
on one
fish
end
into
and
a
is like, okay, all right.
halibut, trout, salmon.
I can just see you all standing there with one person holding
Alright,
open a bag
Doran.
of holding and everybody else yeeting fish.
Oh no, I
into-
thought we were tossing it overboard.
Well, he-
Yeah,
We're
Yeah,
just
yeah,
taking
we
the
are,
crate.
no, that was the joke. Is that like before you would have been throwing it all into a bag of holding, but now,
Yeah.
now with the crane, you guys are able to clear out hundreds of pounds, like all this fish very quickly, and you noticeably pick up speed. An empty cargo vessel moves much quicker than a laden one.
All right.
Max is going to take off one of her little mittens so that the golden jewelry is visible, and she's going to rest her hand on Botrin's shoulder, and she's going to use the magical glove thing to cast heroism and see, hopefully, to help them a little bit. They seem afraid, they seem upset, and so maybe a little bit of bravery and courage always helps, even when you're in a dream, even when you're elsewhere.
Make an insight
Hey,
check for me.
Max.
Yes, King.
Hey, Max.
I don't know why I said that, and I apologize.
I do not accept your apology. I loved every second of it.
Okay. It was about to be a 17, but then it rolled away from it, so now Sarah's sad with the 14 insight.
You feel the spell start to take hold and then leave to complete the casting. But it's strange, almost like upon the surface of water you place this spell, and then it touched that bit of line, that tiny bit of fishing line, that thin thread that leads off elsewhere, and you feel the spell complete but leave this place.
Weird. I let everyone know what happened.
So that's what you were doing. I saw Soren do that earlier, and I was just wondering. I don't really do the magic thing. So I was just curious what you were doing to them.
Magic.
Magic. Wonderful explanation. I know so much more now.
It's magic.
That's
We don't
all
have
I
to
know.
explain anything.
That's all. Your knowledge of magic probably supersedes my knowledge of magic. Okay? Just because you've been around longer.
I mean, just because I've seen magic doesn't mean I've asked questions. I just kind of thought, magic was just that thing that people just do, and they just, the person doing it just figured it out, and that's how they're doing it.
Yeah.
But you're helping him? You're helping them?
Hope so.
How? Like, how? I
Uh,
don't understand. If they're not here,
they're tethered somehow. There is a thread connecting their consciousness to the host. So there's like a little tiny thread, like one of Bryndoinum's threads. Like a thread of the weave or something. Nope. Like a thread of cloth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, connecting something somewhere else and the body. And so I think it helped because it went down the line.
Are we hosts, or is this different? Are they something inhabiting the body, and they are not the body themselves, but their own entity, and the body is a host, not like my body is a host, and I was just lucky enough to get back in it.
I think that's a better question for like a cleric or a holy person. That's like theological. What are we? But electric shocks and meat.
This.
Yeah.
Do you think
we're just meat?
Do you think we'll find answers at the fire? Is that what Tariq called it?
The spire of the dreamer.
The dreamer.
The dreamer.
Is it weird that I don't have dreams? I just
no, never
close my eyes and then never. Well, not since I died.
Oh. Maybe, you know what? Maybe that does have to do with the fact that you are a host of some sort.
Is my body the host? And I'm the thing inhabiting it? Are you inhabiting your body with your body being a host? Or are you, like, attached to it in a way that
Soren, you're smart!
That Patron isn't.
What's going on?
The conversation gets very strange.
Sorry.
As you all watch, like, Spackle continue to paint, and this conversation happens, and 5 or 4 of you recognize as Spackle just continues to paint, and look back at the rest of you.
I didn't expect this.
As you see the streets of Kosoba, as Botrin's fleeing through them, the runes illuminating under Botrin's feet, with the little girl in tow, and the shadows chasing from the distance.
Spackle? Where's the girl?
I don't know.
Does the name Cecilia ring any bells?
I don't hear bells ringing.
Does it sound familiar?
No.
Does the little girl look at all like Spackle?
Make a perception check for me.
Why do I keep doing wisdom-related things?
I don't know, man.
It's my dump
Can we all roll for
stats.
that?
No, this is Maximil's question, Maximil's insight.
Insight or perception?
Perception.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my boon to give you an extra D10.
Oh, dang!
Ooh, Thanks. Come on. Big money. Ooh! I rolled a 10! Oh, dang! Okay, how's a 21?
Botrin, who does that little girl resemble?
It's kind of hard to make out at first. The watercolors they run and they meld together, but again, if as you're turning your head to look at some of the other parts of the painting, that image of the girl becomes a little clearer, and you could swear that she has the same sort of facial structure as the unconscious form of Botrin.
So,
Oh, fuck.
either a sister or a child?
You're not sure.
But
Therese,
some
as the ship
family
continues to as the ship continues to move faster. If we want to move quickly, I could use some assistance. Maybe we sleep in shifts, and she's still just painting. Probably somebody should help me, and somebody else should keep an eye on your friend. But we should work in shifts, and we can really catch the breeze, work appropriately, and get there as swiftly as possible. But I'm gonna need some assistance.
I don't have to sleep.
I have a thing that might help. That's recent. I've been thinking about dragons, and you know how they can fly, and also about storms, since I'm like good with lightning. Is there a particular? This boat has like a sail.
Yes.
Okay. Max is going to go outside.
You are on the deck of the ship next to Botrin. Yep.
Awesome. Then she's going to get up on something high. Like, not all the way up if there's a mast, but just like to a high deck.
Yeah, basically a poop deck where he does the steering from.
Epic. And she is going to exhale and then inhale. And as she inhales, you all feel the wind from around you rushing towards her lungs and whirling around. And then for a moment, everything is still. And then she exhales, and I will cast Control Winds.
Cool.
Fun.
And help us getting faster.
Okay. It'll last for an hour.
Yep.
You can do gusts of wind to help like a moderate to strong wind, just kind of help push against the sails.
Mm-hmm.
You basically get double move speed for about an hour. And as Therese is running back up, that'll help. That's helpful for a bit. Can you keep that up for 4 days?
I can do it a couple times.
Once a morning after coffee. Yep. I can do that.
maybe this helps for a bit, but the shifts thing would work really well. And those of you that don't have to sleep would be really helpful if you take over my job so I can.
Okay.
All right. So you guys have about, let's say, 3.5 days of travel with the additional help of the wind gusting. We'll round it down to an even 3 from the inventive use of Maximiel's spell. So you guys have cut substantial time off your journey. But who's going to work in what shift? Just kind of helping out together. Botrin is out. Botrin does not wake up for the entire journey.
Good.
Good.
That's that good sleep.
Botrin is not resting. The rest of you get rest. Botrin, you do not get a long or a short rest. Anything you spent coming over here is still gone. And
Casting
in fact,
Identify,
Botrin, I would say that you lose 4 spell slots of your choosing that you've had to utilize. There are no spells casting Identify that are affecting Botrin. Okay. In fact, when you cast Identify on Botrin, you identify a body, and then you get that same very thin thread leaving this place. Something is attached here to Botrin, but Botrin's body. But you know what it feels like to wrap that spell around a person and have it touch their living essence. What you thought was a soul, but you had cast spells on Botrin before, and Botrin has no soul. Whatever
Can
it
I
is.
cast it on Spackle too?
Yeah, you can attempt to cast it on Spackle.
Okay, so I'd sit down after that moment. Just okay, that's not what we're looking for. Then do it on Spackle after that.
So on Spackle, no spells affecting Spackle. But there's a strange connection between Spackle and Botrin. You've got your familiar. Astrid's always been there. Astrid's something you can pull in. You can establish the connection to Astrid, and you can do things like look through Astrid's eyes and experience what Astrid's experiencing when you want to. There is a much deeper connection between Spackle and Botrin that you didn't know was possible between familiar and summoner. But there's nothing negative affecting Spackle.
Not even the find familiar spell?
It's a different type of find familiar, because witches have an enhanced version of find familiar. So
okay,
it's find familiar, but it's strange and alien to you and different.
Okay.
Make an Arcana check, and I'm gonna give you one other. This is a DC 24 Arcana check as you're trying to. The spell that you find affecting them is from something like offshoot of an outside source of like some version of a spell that is so high above you that the only thing you get is maybe there's some divination happening with what Spackle's doing with the painting, and you're not sure what it means. You can't tell if it's a spell or a spell-like effect or what around it is happening. Something is influencing Spackle to do these things, whether it has to do with the connection, the enhanced find familiar, another spell. You're just not sure. It's so alien and strange to you. Okay. So who's going to take what shifts together to work with people?
The day, Jesus Christ.
Did you see what I put into the chat, Ben?
Nope, I'll check it right now.
Okay.
Gonna exhaust you, girl.
Anything to get you to the Dreamer Spire faster, baby.
Yep, I'll give you the full day off because of that. Like, I'll give you that one whole day off to do, like, doing that to get the time.
Hours a day. That's insane that you can just keep that up.
It just has to basically keep going up and casting it. I think it's an instantaneous spell. And then it just stays active for an hour.
As long as I'm concentrating.
Yep, so you just have to concentrate, and once an hour you walk up and you go, boop, and you do it again. Yep, very cool.
It's crazy.
Let's give out a couple first half of the game inspirations too before we go to break in a few minutes. Let's give one to Isadora for all of her awesome language RP. I love her going out and trying to learn all of her language stuff. And we'll give one to Maximil for her phenomenal attempts to keep the ship moving quicker. So shifts. Who's going to pair up? Let's do. One person's going to be alone with the captain, and then two of you will be working in two shifts together.
I'll drive.
Isadora's going to work alone with captain.
Mm.
Isadora and Tarij together. And then who's going to work with Jaeger?
I guess I will.
I'll work with Jaeger, given Doran's previous experience on a sailing vessel.
Soren, and then Soren with Maximiel.
Okay.
Basically giving Maximiel tea and food to keep her energy up while she casts Control Winds multiple times. Okay. On the first day, you guys set up this moving shift rotation to kind of keep an eye on Botrin, to watch Spackle as Spackle continues to paint. Spackle starts to paint and continues painting these scenes of what you all have experienced together. Anything that Botrin was a part of the Midnight Parliament through, in their recent time with the Midnight Parliament, Botrin is running with this girl in tow away from these shadowy creatures that are chasing them, and this painting starts to fill up the railing of the deck of the ship. Just all of the solid wood between the rail of the ship and the deck itself. Spackle is painting this scene depicting the last few months together. All of the times Botrin and Spackle have been with the team, you see Botrin and this girl reliving those moments and moving through these places. And it becomes very apparent and reminiscent of a waking nightmare that Botrin is running through and trying to get away from. Checking DMs because I know there's a lot of them going. It takes a couple days as you guys are working through it and see that she fills up like 2/3 of the boat for those first 2 days. Likely going to paint the entire interior railing of this boat by the time everything is said and done. However, after Maximiel finishes her shift with the Gus and Soren and the captain's sleeping it off for a bit, wakes up with Isadora. Towards the end of day 2, you guys go to take the evening ship. Isadora, the captain, Tarij, comes up and says, "Why don't you go check on your friend for a moment, and I'll take things from here. I've got this for a bit. You can kind of go keep an eye on Botrin for a bit."
Gotcha, Captain. Sure thing.
Isadora, you head down to Botrin. Same thing. The hair is slicked back into almost a shawl-like pattern. Like the head is covered and protected, but the hair continues to shake and pulse. Botrin has been paler than usual, the skin clammy and sweaty as you look over them, and Spackle is just sitting next to them, continuing to paint. Painting a scene that you kind of recognize. It's an interesting depiction of a Busat, of the two of them running through the streets. There seems to be some dragon, like some draconic looking assassins like attacking other people, and Botrin and this girl seem to be moving away from them, like they're in a scene that they're not supposed to be in, that they're moving through while this fight is ongoing. They're in the markets, and you can see in the painting, rugs in market stalls. You can see, there's like a clothier with tapestries and rugs. There's a spice merchant with big piles of spices, and it looks like a Busat marketplace. Really similar to the Ridge. Like you've been up there before. It looks familiar. And Spackle looks back to you.
We're almost to you. Botrin should run into you soon.
Like here or in the dream?
Well,
she looks back over the previous paintings.
There's a passage of time to it. Maybe Botrin will see you there.
And it feels like this is a timeline of paintings, and you look back across the ship and you see Botrin moving and running through various stages.
Does it look like Botrin's timeline?
It looks a lot like Botrin.
Events?
As you've talked to your friends over the last 2 days, they reminisce and talk about how the paintings that are showing up are things that they experienced as a group. This is Botrin's story before you came to the party, before you joined up with the Midnight Parliament. And sure enough, as you continue to watch for the evening, Spackle continues to paint, and eventually you're looking at the den that has come to be known as the Den of Soren's kids, colloquially within Busat. This gang of child thieves and young adults that Soren kind of put put a little bit of the blade to their leader, and something that earned you respect quickly within this group is that Soren and the Midnight Parliament wasn't messing around, and not messing around with these kids either. Like, they wanted to protect them, but they wanted them to be able to earn their own way. And you can see the interior of that bar underneath the bastion, that hole in the wall where you first met them. You can see the tables and the kids as Botrin's body, as Spackle continues to paint it. You see she's moving down further, painting Botrin running into the sewers, that little underbelly where you went into. But you can see on the left side that private bar. It was in the back corner of this little spot. The beautiful silken see-through tapestries, they were part of it. And this is the place where you came to join this group and become a protector of these people. I need you to make a perception check for me.
While she's been watching Botrin, there's this is there anyone around to kind of observe Isadora?
Everybody else is kind of breaking, like taking naps, resting, getting some food, and you're on deck. The interior hold, Max has done nothing but cast Gust of Wind and then frantically prestidigitating for 20 minutes to try to get the fish stink out, because she's convinced she can get it away, and make the hold a little more bearable.
Perception.
Okay.
Also, so while this has been happening, Isadora kind of is looking over Botrin with this look on her face, like she's seeing Botrin, but she's also seeing someone of her past.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something about this crisis of identity that Botrin has experienced that really kind of shakes something in her from a very, very long time ago. And her demeanor is different when she's around Botrin. She brings a bowl with a towel and is dabbing the sweat away from their forehead, is brushing the hair from their face and making sure they're comfortable, putting a pillow. She starts to talk to Botrin while she's taking care of them and just watching over them. And it's just like, I have this feeling that you're not here with us, but this connection that's tying you to this host, in a way, I like to think that you can hear us and what we're saying, and that you can hear your friends worry about you. You may feel like you're lost, or that you are removed from this reality, but we're here with you, wherever that may lead. You are watched over, and if something may happen to you, please know that everyone will be okay. Even if it may seem like they've lost someone who can protect and look out for them, literally in a plane of existence that is not this one. I can't tell you I can protect them from within the dream, but I'll do my best. They'll be watched over, regardless of what happens. Just do what you gotta do.
You finish giving Botrin like the cool damp towel and making sure that they're comfortable. And with an 18 perception, something catches your eye. on the painting that Spackle's working on currently. That tapestry inside of that den of thieves back in Busat. And it looks almost as if it's slightly moving. Like you could reach out and almost touch a piece of it. And you feel drawn to just like brush it away to make sure that your eyes aren't playing tricks on you, that it's not actually real.
She cannot resist the curiosity. She reaches out and goes to touch the wooden.
In the painting,
railing.
at the bottom of one of the tassels on that doorway that led back to that little halfling's den where he stayed in his private area, you brush your fingers across the tassel and you feel wood, but then you feel that rolled cloth, that thin piece of tassel. One of those little strings is real, and you can pull on it.
She hesitates for a moment. It is kind of very concerned. But it's that same curiosity that she couldn't resist. She has to know how far it goes. And she reaches back to the tassel and she grasps it between two fingers and very gently just pulls.
You pull on it, and like pulling a thread from a sweater, you soon find yourself just pulling endlessly against this string, and you lose yourself to time as you're pulling, waiting to find the end of this. You glance back over your shoulder briefly, and you can see the ship in the distance, not behind you, but below you, as you keep pulling, and you find yourself up past the dark star of Eterna, up into the stars, into the vast nothingness of darkened space beyond your perception. And you continue to pull this thread until your feet finally find purchase on some unseen platform. And you finally stop looking at that individual thread and you glance around you. And you see hundreds of thousands of threads erupting from all corners of the darkness into this centralized, strange place. Slightly further ahead of you, 30 feet, you can see the threads woven together on a massive, invisible loom that blends with the darkness and the nebulous stars behind you. You watch for a moment, and you hear a faint skittering in the distance. Glancing in the direction of the sound, you see an endless head of thousands of eyes looking at you from the darkness, attached to an immensely powerful spider-like body. But as it steps out towards you from the darkness and into the light of this loom, you're staring at a 6-foot-tall elven woman, large horns tied back into brunette hair that spills down between the two horns down the back of her head, a large overstuffed, just red sweater, long brown ankle-length skirt and black boots, and a large pair of glasses. She holds a book and looks at you with kind and knowing eyes.
I have a feeling you're somebody very important.
She nods and smiles.
Do you know who I am?
She looks down to her book and looks back up at you and shows you the cover. And of all the names that you've gone by, all the different things people have called you, They're scrawled in different texts across the cover of this book.
What's wrong with my friend?
She looks forlorn and sad. She breathes in as if to speak, but looks at you, judges you, and sighs. And you get the sense that she's concerned mostly right now with you. In one hand, you still hold that thread. And looking
He's
along
gripping
it,
it very tightly.
looking back along it, you can see glowing golden strand, and about 2 hand lengths behind where you hold it, you see that it's been cut and tied back together. She reaches out with one finger and just plucks the thread gently, and you feel the reverberation, not from your hand, but from within inside you. You are holding the very thread of fate that ties you to the world.
She very reluctantly is holding her neck.
She leans in closely to you, and you hear 2 words echo in your mind. Eternal Protector. Your eyes close briefly, and you find yourself laying back on the deck of the ship. Therese slapping you in the face. Isadora, wake up. And very suddenly, a hot, burning sensation in the hand of which you were grasping that thread, and you look back, that piece of tassel you had gripped burns into your palm and brokenly heals over it.
It heals?
It is now a part of you.
That's fucking weird. That was really fucking weird.
What happened? Are you okay? Should I... Soren.
Dude, I'm already.
Soren,
I'm
he's
fine,
like
yeah,
leaning down
yeah.
the deck hole, like yelling, Soren, can you
what?
come up here, please? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but...
No, you're fine. No, run.
Isadora very quickly puts her hands down and sits herself up very, very normal as Isadora. Immediately her whole demeanor changes from shock and disbelief and confusion to the same look that she has every single day. And
I need you to make a deception check.
okay.
I was gonna say, can I roll?
Yes, you may roll an insight check. I'm
'Cause
asking you to do
He told
it.
me some. He told me some shit is up.
Yep.
Fuck yeah, 28.
All right, Isadora.
18 on the die.
Isadora, you rolled the deception check. You know that Soren beat you. So describe to Soren what visual cues, what he picks up from Isadora's mood, because she clearly did not cover herself. You did pretty well. Therese looks back and is like, well, maybe everything's... but Soren picks up on it. What does he pick up on?
Like
She
a book, son.
So she has the same demeanor that she has always had. Very, very much just Isadora any day. But what stands out to you the most is that her demeanor is rigid in a way that is very Isadora, but very much like Isadora when you first met her. Versus
Uncomfortable.
the comfortable, not necessarily uncomfortable, but very almost blank.
Okay.
Whereas with time, she's become very personable. Her personality's come out. She's gotten more comfortable. She's much more of just kind of like this goofy, airheaded but well-meaning person, right? A little too brash sometimes, but now it's a very well-chiseled, very created over practically centuries demeanor that she has worn for most of her life, that you would only recognize because that's how she held herself when you first met.
We'll just arrive. We're up on the poop deck. You said.
No, just up on the. Well, actually, you're next to Botrin. You're up on the main deck. Just the.
Got it.
deck.
Okay. Just
And Botrin's over on the port side. You guys are on the starboard side where Spackle is painting.
okay. Got it. Just look at Speckle. Look at. Or you look like you've seen a ghost. What's wrong? Are we in danger?
No, actually.
We have a
I think-
signal. There's
No,
danger.
no.
Okay. Good to know for later, though.
Yeah, it's a little strange. I really doze off.
You don't talk about it often. You don't sleep. I've never seen you doze off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have, out of boredom. That was weird. That was so weird. I was just hanging out by Spackle and watching the water, and all of a sudden, Therese was waking me up. It was weird, to say the least.
Strange.
Yeah.
You feel all right?
Yeah, no, just a little weird. I don't know. This place is odd. It's giving me weird feelings.
Up with the black star in the sky. Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
fair.
You
Do I
I
see
think
the
it has
thing on her
something to do
hand?
with where we are.
Make a perception check. She's got her hands down. This is going to be really tough to spot.
Fuck. Nope. 4 plus like 2. I think.
Nope. You don't. But Isadora, you feel drawn to be able to just reach out and cover Soren and defend him. You feel the capability to. You've been able to reach out with your gun and touch people before in hostile ways, but you feel something else within you. Your desire to protect people and your desire to do right and serve communities around you and help those in need. You feel a physical manifestation burning from the palm of your hand, and like you could reach out with all that you are and cover him. I'm going to ask you, do you want to do that?
She doesn't know how to interpret that feeling. So in what she would assume that would manifest as is like a normal person, is she just kind of looks at Soren and is just kind of walks up to him and gives him a hug. And just kind of
I'm surprised at first, but all right. Hugging.
Kind of-
This is
holds
Yeah.
him. And she's very stiff. She's very tense.
So do you want to protect him with that hug?
Yeah.
You activate your boon from Bryndoinham. The boon of the Eternal Protector. Once per day, using this new boon from Bryndoinham, you may select 3 allies within a 30-foot radius. Those 3 allies gain resistance to all damage types for 1 minute, and if they drop to 0 hit points, they automatically stabilize and gain a hit point. You've been blessed by Bryndoinham.
That's fucking wild.
And
That's
with that,
amazing.
we're going to go ahead and take a break.
Nice work.
Oh,
That is crazy.
So I will put that into your character sheet. Don't worry about that. You
Yes,
get that
please.
as a once a day activation that you can choose 3 people to defend. and they become resistant to all damage. It's anybody but you. It's any of your allies besides you that you can protect for a minute. And if they die, if they drop to 0 hit points, they automatically pop back up with 1 hit point, and it lasts for a minute.
That's it.
So,
Yeah.
Very good.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
Dang.
Hold on. What is that experience like on the receiving end? What does Soren feel?
so
when
Soren,
he-
what you see, I'll
Yeah.
describe it, and then we are absolutely going to break. Soren, you break from the hug. I've had this in my head for a while. That snake tattoo that moves across Isadora, you step back from the hug, and like archangel wings, multiple heads of this viper are glowing bright, vibrant white behind her as some sort of divine protector. And you feel that those snakes are there to defend you and not harm you.
Definitely just staring at it for a brief moment, just that's new.
And Isadora, you look over your shoulder and you can see these glowing 6-foot long snake wings. But we'll go ahead and
Is
take a
all of
break.
that light reflected on the surface of the water?
Yes, it all is. You are a glowing, shiny beacon. But we're gonna go ahead and take a break.
That's amazing.
Let her process this for a minute. But we'll be back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. We'll see you in just a few minutes after the break.
Awesome.
We broke Maddie.
Right.
Wait, is everybody in the right place? Okay, they are. Good. Hey, welcome back, everybody.
Hope so.
Hope so. Hope everyone's in the right place. Josh is slightly AFK, so I'm going. Oh no. Oh no, I can't manage the music. Shit.
Oh no.
Josh is on the phone, but
We don't need music. We're good.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna go YouTube some like travel montage to play in the background.
Blue turtle.
Michael,
Oh, I should just go play Blue Turtle.
Blue turtle.
Blue Turtle's amazing.
No,
Shout out to
down
Blue
by the
Turtle. They're
river.
fucking awesome.
Down,
Down by the river.
down,
No, they're
down by the
definitely gonna clap us
river.
We're playing summer vibes at the river lo-fi from Blue Turtle.
Yeah.
Just because it's the greatest. But yeah, Soren and Isadora have this moment out after Isadora wakes up, just like massive snake wings going on.
Snakes. Why is it always snakes?
The snakes on this mother effing boat.
Boat, yeah.
I think some of that fish might have been rotten. I'm not.
So
I can't be
so-
seeing what I'm seeing, right?
So that's new. Is that something you've
Isadora-
always been able to do, or was that
Pulls away from Soren and is just like,
they bite?
I've got you guys. Okay? You're protected. I'll
No,
protect you as long as I'm here.
Okay.
You can count on me.
Okay.
What?
Do you not see the fucking snakes that are emanating off of you?
Emanating. I mean,
Look,
that's like the
behind,
nicest thing I
up.
think anyone has said about my tattoos. Thank you.
Not quite. Isadora, behind
Oh,
you.
I'm being literal.
just
They are
as a matter of where who's at. Everybody else is asleep right now or taking time off.
Oh,
Soren is
got it.
upstairs with Isadora on this, and yeah, Isadora, you look behind you, and there's literally angelic wings in the shape of your snake tattoo that are vibrantly glowing.
Can we say Doran got up to pee and just saw
Yes, absolutely. Doran,
Okay, yeah.
you're at the back of the ship.
just
You go to lay one out
is
like
all
you're still trying to figure out the water thing. You zip it back up and you turn around, and Isadora's got giant snake wings.
No, that's
Dreaming. I'm dreaming. It's
that's
fine.
never happened before.
Right.
Do you think it's a good thing?
I
You think I should be worried?
have no idea. Is that from Bartram? Was that part of the tattoo? Mine's just a little
No.
knife, you know.
No,
Hold on.
actually, yeah. Mine is. And she draws the two fingers across the head of the snake, which is like fanged on her throat, like
Yep, that tattoo's still there.
Yeah, right before the band that covers her wound, and she goes like, "No, that's something entirely different." And then you see her draw, and like the eyes flash, and then there's like a little beam of magic. Excuse me. There's a
Soren,
beam of magic, and she's like, "This is something trippy. I think I've been drugged. I think we've been drugged. We're both seeing this, right?"
Soren, you have a decent passive perception and insights, and trying to piece together what the fuck as she's messing with her hands and like showing you the tattoo, you catch that glimmer of glow and the little thread mark on the palm of her hand.
Just grab her wrist, just looking at the hand.
What?
Okay, what did she look like? Was she still a spider?
It was just a dream. It was just a freaky fucking
Nope,
dream.
nope.
Okay? It wasn't.
Soren has a similar thread laid into his palm.
That was
Right.
real.
That was real.
That was Brundoinum. Hey, look at you, and I'll give kind of like a slap on the cheek. You finally met her. That's nice. You're one of us now. Not that you weren't before, but you know.
We didn't have a very lengthy conversation. I'm not really quite sure. The passage
No,
of
she's
time was weird.
She's
I
not
just
really one for
asked-
words.
I just asked what was wrong with our friend. I asked what was wrong with Boucher, and she just looked really sad and very, very concerned. Like and not because I mentioned Boucher. She was looking at my string. That sounds weird. There was a string that I was holding, and it
Yeah, came out of your palm and pulled you to
yeah,
her.
it's what pulled me to her. it was like I didn't want to freak you guys out because honestly I thought I was just tripping and like having like a mental break because
Both of us have had
of
it
everything
happen
that's
already.
going on. I was hanging out by Botrin and I was speaking to them, trying to make them feel comfortable, and there was something wrong with the painting that Spackle was painting on the bow. It was moving. It was the den that I first met you. The den that I first met you guys. You can go look at it. The painting.
You're standing right next to it as she's describing it,
yeah,
and you can see the painting.
So,
and it's definitely his den where you guys went underground to the sewers.
yeah, she was like, it was this, and it's flat right now. But at the time, it was like moving. It was coming out of the wall, and it looked tangible. So I just couldn't resist and touched it, and then I was pulling on the string, trying to see like if something would happen, and then I wasn't here. I was like not here, and time was really wonky and very. I felt like I was a solid ball of mass floating in like a very weird soup.
Just keep shooting. Just keep shooting. Looks over at Doran like.
Everything was malleable and weird, and then you hear like a little like spiders. But it was huge. There were like a bazillion eyes, and then this lady came out, and she was this tall, gorgeous elven
Librarian.
woman.
She looked like an elven librarian.
Yeah, holding this really old book with these really cute glasses and these horns and this long brown hair, and she just, the moment she looked at me, I thought I didn't feel tangible anymore. I felt like she was looking through me, like she saw everything that I ever was, and I really didn't know what to ask, so I just thought I'd ask the most important thing, and I asked what was wrong with Botrin, and then she just looked at me like
She pooped you on the nose.
No.
Oh.
I wish she did, but but
Kind of sad.
forget I said that. She looked really like worried about me, like something was wrong, like there's something wrong with me, like.
Oh no, it's not you.
And then she said, "Eternal protector," and then my hand, it burned, and then I woke up. And I felt really weird, and I just thought it was like, I haven't had a dream in so long, I just forgot what they felt like, and I thought it was just a weird dream for like the first time in forever, and I really didn't want to freak you guys out.
This is actually pretty normal for us.
Yeah, we've all had an encounter with Brundinum.
Isidore slowly just like, you could see the gears just slowing down and just stopping, and she's just like looking at Doran and looking at Soren.
I told you, you're one of us now. Officially.
You guys did this already?
Sort of.
This,
She didn't
this
call
is
me
what I was
eternal
missing on?
protector or anything, but you know, yeah.
Yeah, no, her message to me was far more dire about a rat taking over, and then yeah, she gave me the little zappy on the palm, and now I can help my friends.
I don't think she told me anything.
What did
I think I just saw my city burning and dying. That was it.
What did she give you?
Necrotic magic doesn't take as much hold on me, but
Okay.
And mine seems to just be a
hopeful for fighting the
a
dead, I
boon
suppose.
to my friends' abilities, skills, things that they can do. I can help them do it slightly better.
You're like empowering them. So one of you
In a
is
sense,
like,
yes.
one of you is like the anti undead kind of guy, and you're the power up guy kind of situation.
Maximiel got some sort of alteration to her magic. I'm not entirely sure how that
Of course
works.
she did. You know, if it's Max, she's gonna get the coolest fucking thing. that girl has talent way beyond most of the people I've ever met. It is insane what she can do. I would only assume that if she was blessed by really OP, really overpowered.
It was OP.
I don't know. I just became
OPP?
I just became possessed and said it.
Yeah, you know me.
I really don't know what that means either.
Well, I'm glad you finally had your big meeting. So whenever we talk about Brundoinum, that's what you know we're talking about. Though, I forget, Doran, did she look like a spider for you, or was she a dragon then too?
She was like some kind of dragon spider hybrid crawling across the weave.
As you guys are discussing this too, you're noticing that these snake wings are like coming out and around the two of you more.
Okay, all right.
Isidore just
And
kinda,
as you both like hold up your hand and show it,
sorry about that.
the snake wing pieces strike out and bite into both of your threads on your hands.
Does it hurt?
I'm
It
so
starts
sorry.
to it starts
I have
to
no control of
burn
that.
a little bit more.
I cannot control
Cool.
that. That was not me. That was not me.
That was incredible.
New.
Fucking ow, but very cool.
How was that cool?
Because
I
the
don't know, it's
boon
just-
expands
Bite
for
people.
both Soren and Doran.
Oh shit.
Soren,
Oh shit!
your boon has
A
expanded
plus.
to allow an additional 9d6 of necrotic damage added to a spell in 3d6 chunks. So 3 times per day, you may add 3d6 necrotic damage as you channel your necrotic resistance into a spell.
Holy shit, okay.
And you can feed that necrotic energy into a spell that you're casting 3 times per day in a 3d6 chunk.
Holy shit,
For
okay.
roleplay reasons, can you please describe what that experience is like for Soren when he is
Oh, he-
boonified?
I get this one?
He's got a boon. You can definitely go ahead and add that as the snake bites into your hand and you feel that expansive power wash over you.
The little thread that's there, it burns in the sigil of the school of necromancy that then kind of creates these black veins that start stretching up my arm and leave a nice little gap around the tattoo that Botrin left and just kind of stretch up to about the elbow, just kind of creating these almost vein-like striations in the skin
Is that
and in the veins.
That does
Ah,
not look
that's
healthy. That does
Fucking
not look
hurts,
healthy.
but I like it. It's
I mean, yeah, it's creepy as shit. Like, what's wrong?
Is it gonna-
Are you
Is it
okay?
gonna go away? I have no idea. I'm assuming this
Sarah.
is gonna go away.
Sarah,
Thank you for catching that.
it was
What'd she do?
awesome.
What? What did she do?
She just leaned in really close to the camera, like,
when Nate, when you said, "Oh, that really hurt," but I liked it.
Oh,
Sarah was like,
cool.
"Oh,
Yeah, it was cool."
cheeky."
Doran, you feel your threads start to burn as well. And you watch as the palm of your hand, that thread begins to take this strange side view shape of Cyorion in its now bowl shape that you know it as, this entire world. As your boon of fate expands to be able to be used 3 times per day, and that now D12 can be added between skill and attack rolls, but can also be added as damage or healing, much like a enhanced version of Bardic Inspiration.
wow. Wow.
Oh.
Oh,
And he
so
says a
for all-
D12 now.
It's a D12 now instead of a D10,
Ah.
but you can only use it. You can use it 3 times per day.
Are you guys okay? I really feel like maybe I haven't made this any better. I really, I'm gonna need some confirmation that you guys are feeling okay.
do we have
you guys
any
are feeling
semblance
alright?
of idea what has just happened to us?
You feel the
Or does
same
it just-
that same reverberation in your soul when you initially met Brundoinum, and then when she reached back out to you. But for the two of you, knowing exactly who Brundoinum is, there's an unsettling, deep terror looking at the haunting images around the edge of the ship as to why Brundoinum would possibly bless you with these gifts. You are literally being reached out to by something that is a step down from a god.
Why are you doing this now? What?
I know.
What?
Giving this to us because we're going to need it. Scared.
I'm getting the distinct
So-
feeling that she knows what we're up against, and this is her way of trying to tip the scales in our favor.
We have our theories, but we're pretty sure that she is not doing well. I hesitate to say the phrase, but it seems like she needs us.
So, a
Fuck if I
god
know why.
has
Or close to
reached
it.
out and
In a manner of speaking,
given
yeah.
us these powers because initially we would have failed without her help. Like it was so important that we needed this help in order to have a remote chance of success. Is
Maximil?
what you're saying?
Your exhaustion has led you, unfortunately, to be passed out for this incident. However, Jaeger, the gasping ouches of people above you being like, oh, God, what the? Oh, and you can hear people talking, and you look over, and Maximil looks very much like, oh, shoot, Elsa's Anna from Frozen, like the sleeping Anna, like the hair up, just like Max is absolutely conked, but you can hear some commotion above you, and you're available to head up to get in this conversation as the three of them are comparing hand wounds now, discussing what's going on above you.
Is there a blanket for Max?
She's got it like around her shins, like right now she's just rolled over so much, just kicked it off.
I'll pull it up a little bit for her and pat her a little bit and head upstairs.
There's a little bit of You're pretty sure she cast Prestidigitate in her sleep because you can still smell fish a little bit as she's trying frantically to clean this area.
That's scary.
So, as we're like all like, oh shit, Jaeger, how do you approach?
I'll walk in, I guess, and just nice.
Jaeger.
Yeah,
She just
Did
doesn't
you-
know what to do with
The snake wings
about
are
the
still
snake.
doing their thing.
Yeah, she just doesn't know.
That's you.
Hey, yeah, it is. I guess I just met. What's her face?
There's a lot of them.
Brindoin.
Oh,
Brindoinheim. Brindoinum. That one. Yeah. Ouchies. Now this is a thing. And I would recommend you don't get too close because they bite.
Or do, because apparently the bite is a good thing.
Changes some
we don't know.
things, yeah.
We don't know yet. Soren's arm did a thing. And,
We're in the
and-
experimentation phase.
yeah, and Doran, what did it feel like when you were bit? What happened?
Felt kind of like if you've ever been bitten by a snake and you can feel kind of the venom moving through your veins. It was like that, but it felt like light, like a heated light going through my veins, and for some reason I just feel more confident in my ability to help my friends. If
Jaeger,
that makes any sense at all, which with Brundoinum, I don't know.
Jaeger, you do not have a boon, do you?
Nope.
Jaeger, as you're approaching, you sense hostility from those weird snake lights that are floating around Isadora.
I don't know.
Okay.
Like I'm still trying to work out how these work, but I gave Soren a hug, and then everything glowed, and then these appeared. I really don't
And
know
they
what
bit me.
happened, but everyone's getting these weird experiences. We don't know if they're good or bad.
Okay.
We're
well,
assuming good.
Well,
Would you like to find out?
nope. What I'll tell you is if they come after me, I know the best way to take down a snake, and it'll be quick and easy for them. So if they don't like their heads,
As you're
they can try
saying
and
that,
bite me.
Isadora is probably about 6 or 8 feet away, and you see all 12 of these snakes that are winging off of her rear back and hiss out towards you as the minute ends and the ability fades out. This kind of smattering of sparkly dust hits your face as the snakes disappear as they strike out at Jaeger.
Just checking real quick. Was there always 12? Because I thought I heard 6 the first time.
It was 6, and then I was like, that's not enough snake heads, so it's 12.
Okay. I was like, did they,
I was like,
did they grow
It was
extra heads?
6. It was 6.
It was 6. It was like 3 and 3, and I'm like, those are some pretty
and
shitty
then-
wings.
Whoa.
So now it's 6 per side because that's cooler.
Cool.
I'm thinking very much Archangel Tyrael from Diablo, like the big
Yeah.
glowing strands, but these are
Yeah.
snakes. These
That's
are big
what I was
snakes.
thinking.
So there's 6 of them per side.
Cool.
Jaeger, they strike
No
out at you and
hostility
disappear.
towards you, Jaeger. That was not. I'm no control over that. I might have control in the future. I don't know. That was not a you and me thing. That was a you and the snakes thing. All right, no beef between us.
Sure.
Okay.
Why don't the snakes like you? I feel like this
I-
is something you would know the answer to, Jaeger.
Jaeger, you have no idea.
Of some
Why?
sort of unconscious bias against snakes.
I mean, growing
Yeah, it
up,
doesn't really
snakes were
make
the
any
things that killed your cattle. So maybe they just sensed hostility from all the snakes that I did kill.
I mean, that wouldn't make any sense because he has that scar thing. Like you guys all have the scar thing, and I didn't.
What? Scar? thing.
We've explained the whole Brundynum situation
Yep.
to you and how she occasionally just tricks you or pulls you in with some sort of magic thread thing, and she had hers.
Yeah, you don't.
Nope.
This.
Are you gonna tell me that I'm wrong?
Still hurts.
The only one? Oh, that's bullshit.
You don't have one.
Nothing on my hands.
Do you think that's why they were aggressive? What about? Hold on. Wait a second. Hold up. Before we went to the ice shelf, the town that we were in, where we first met where I first
I
met
know.
Mirabelle.
You're about to ask something. Jaeger, did you share your experience with that creature with anybody else? I just need a refresher on that. I
No.
don't think you did.
No.
All of
He
the
didn't?
things that Jaeger experienced with weird
No.
echo voice thing,
None
he
of
did
that.
not share with any
He
of your
didn't share
characters.
that.
He did
Oh, I
not.
don't know why
All
I
out of
thought we knew
character.
about that.
Yeah,
I don't know why
just,
I thought we knew
because
about
it was literally like 8 sessions ago, and it's itching at the back of your mind to try to grasp onto it. So that was out of character knowledge for you. I am sorry.
that. Oh. Isadora is just tired, and it's just like I think for the first time in a very long while, I need to go lay down.
Tariq's just like, you go ahead and finish up. Jaeger, since you're up and your shift is next with Doran, would you mind jumping on a little early?
All good with me.
Okay. So you guys continue on the voyage, and Jaeger, as you're getting ready to go about your duties and everybody else starts to head below the ships, you see some of the shadows move on the side of the vessel, and you hear a familiar voice reach out.
Be careful, vessel. You can only serve one master.
As you feel
Good
the
thing I don't
shadow
serve no
reach out and talk
master.
to you.
Character knowledge, I nailed it on the head.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't we talk about this underneath when we were on the boat towards Holderima, and we were talking about how like if we pulled the crystals out it might kill him? There was like that whole conversation. There was something about
that
a voice.
conversation,
Yes, but he never mentioned
He did not mention who or what was said.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. What was said? Yes.
Yeah,
he mentioned there is like some sort of weird thing talking.
Yes.
Went
see-
around, didn't
You
get
like rolled for
exact.
that, right?
So you
We
see
knew that it was some form of vengeance thing that
Right.
wanted vengeance, but we don't know anything other than that.
a Jaeger.
Yeah.
You see one of the shadows from the paintings of Spackle talking to you. And you feel that connection from that creature that was reaching over behind you, is that side-eyed capture of some sentient being from beyond your perception reaches back out.
You may not feel like you serve me, but I guard the threshold to what you want.
I'm sure many gods and deities and demigods and all the ones in between say the same thing. We'll see when that happens.
We can ask your family then if that's of concern to them.
And you almost hear from the distant voice, and somewhere across the waves, you look as that girl that's holding Botrin's hand's face shifts slightly, and you hear in the distance, "Daddy!" And it fades back to the other girl. But you feel the connection severed as you go about your duties to make sure that you arrive safely at this distant port. Sorry, I just looked at chat and saw Mr. Fuck say illegal. I lost it. Jaeger, anything else for that evening? As something reaches out from beyond and contacts you?
Illegal.
No. He just gets...
You very much feel the connection severed, and that communication is clearly over after you hear your daughter's voice.
Yeah, he just gets upset.
All right. You all have about a day and a half before you reach this haven in the distance. Is there any other last minute role playing or conversations you'd like to have on the 3-day journey? Just as a quick aside, do we catch Maximiel up on the strangeness?
That was going to be my question.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was actually going to say
absolutely.
something about that.
So do we catch
I would try to
Maximiel
recreate
up?
the same event.
Yeah.
Like grab Isadora, have her like try to see if she could like full go in science mode on this one. Try and see if she can conjure the effects and like explain it to Max before, so she's not like blindsided by it, but explain the situation and then see if we can like create some sort of understanding of how this shit works. Like if these things bite, do this, does it like
I
magic
think
powers?
I have a
and shit?
little
don't know.
role play
Doynam's
moment.
mad at me.
So
I have a little role play moment I wanted to share with Sarah. In
let's
particular.
Maddie goes,
That's fine.
Isadora goes to sleep. Maximiel wakes up for her shift. Soren wakes up with Maximiel, and at the end of that shift
Yeah.
has decided that Isadora will do this again so she can show Max, as Soren has prepped her. So we will go to the Isadora being forced by Soren to please go
Not
show,
forced.
but be like, hey, you should really show Maximiel how this went down. And then you
I-
can definitely have that conversation with Maximiel as well.
I think Bryndoynam's
Actually-
mad or disappointed.
Soren
or
and Maximiel right now.
Something. She's not. She
Because
took.
of that lapse in judgment during the laboratory fight.
Yeah, I haven't been able to. And she'll hold up her hand, and where there's the spider, like it looks like a little spider web, it's just dull. She hasn't talked to me or done anything since.
Took it
I
back.
can't. Yeah.
Huh.
So, I mean, we can try, but maybe it'll react to me like it reacted to Jaeger.
To try that?
We don't want to put you in unnecessary danger, but
Nah, what else is new?
bad. Despite our lifestyle choices of being, dangerous fuckabouts who travel from one place to another, getting in fights and solving mysteries, we do try to keep you safe best we can. Are we successful? No, of course not. But we try.
Yeah. Thanks. I
It's up to
appreciate
you.
it. Of course I'm gonna try it. I mean, but just I don't want you, and that means I don't want me getting my hopes up. I still don't think Brundoinum is very
My
pleased
hopes-
with me.
My
I've
hopes
been
can't be
trying to
brought
do
up,
better.
But my curiosity is piqued, if nothing else.
Hopefully, if it does something, I'll be able to help out more. So let's try this. Who's gonna
Elf,
wake up
maybe it
the sleeping bear?
Just ignites a conversation that is kind of look at her up and down. Probably long overdue. I'll go get her.
I wanted to say that before she went to sleep, she was gonna go to Max.
Go ahead.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
Before that.
Rewind slightly before Maddie goes to sleep. Or sorry, Isadora goes to sleep.
before Isadora went to sleep, she's gonna go to the sleeping quarters where Max is. And she's gonna sit down next to Max and just kind of nestle her head kind of up against her lap and just kind of sit there with her and just kind of like move like a piece of hair out of her face. Does Max wake up with this?
Probably
sort
near
of
the
stick-
end of rest time for you. Like, would feel like you're just coming out of that last dream and something tickles your face and it's enough to bring you back to the conscious state.
Oh, sorry.
Hi,
I wasn't trying to
Isadora.
wake you up. I'm tired. I feel like the first time in forever, and I thought I'd just come hang out with you.
Hi.
So something happened.
Oh, are you okay? Do you need help?
Yeah, no, don't sit up. You can stay where you are. Chill.
Okay.
Keep sleeping if you need to. And don't be alarmed, have been visited by your dragon time friend, Brundoinum.
Oh, good.
Is that how I say her name?
Brundoinum, yeah.
Yeah. She did this, and she kind of just like leans down and holds the palm in front of Max's face.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good. Good. What is it? What is it? Is it something cool? Of course it is. But what cool thing is it?
And she just kind of, she's like, well, I really don't know how to describe it. I think I should just show you. And so she just kind of like leans down and like takes Max, like holds her hand out to take Max's. And she grasps her hand and just kind of holds it and just really concentrates and tries to like focus on that very protective feeling that she felt when she hugged Soren. And especially with Max, who she is already very protective of. Since she has one more for the day,
You get one per day.
Well, you know how up to 3.
It's up to 3 people in one casting of it.
In
per
one
day.
casting.
You try to. You
Okay.
you feel it not quite there, and you focus heavily and will it to happen. I'm making an emphasis roll for you. And Maxville, you watch as briefly the same viper tattoo that's on Isadora's neck glows briefly and shows up. You see one little snake head peer up over her shoulder, kind of look at you in this glowing divine light, and then out of existence.
Was it aggressive towards her?
It was not. It just looked at her and disappeared. And this is during the time of which you're holding her hand and focusing all of your might onto it.
Well, that's neat.
Yeah. Actually, that was like a little like that was just one. When it first happened, they were 12, I think. I 12, 13. I didn't count, but there were a lot. There were a lot more. And they
Max just has like hard eyes.
they were like wings. They like glowed, and there were like so many of them. And then Soren and Doran saw me. You know, so initially when I woke up, Soren came over, and I don't know, I felt like this really weird need to protect him. I don't know, it was like
That
this
happens.
almost possessive. It was like this possessive need to shield him from something. And I didn't know what to do, so I just gave him a hug. And when I pulled away, there were 12 snakes glowing menacingly from my back. And then Doran happened to be up at the time. I think he was taking a piss in the back of the ship, and he saw it, and he came to us and was like, "Holy crap, what's going on here?" And I explained it to them, and then they pieced it together for me that it was Brindoinum. And then when we were all looking at our scars and discussing it, the snakes bit them, and then they glowed, and then Soren had like these necrotic black veins grow down his arm, and then Doran just I swear it was very subtle, but I swear he literally like grew in size just the tiniest bit. Like he looked like he looked like he had a nice pump going, like he just got back from the gym.
Your boon increase other people's boons? That's interesting. That's cool.
I don't even know, honestly. I have no idea what's going on. And I thought you should know. Because you were sleeping. I'm really sorry for waking you up. I really didn't.
Oh, it was time for me to get up soon, I think.
Okay.
There's no watch there. She just looks at her wrist.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna sleep, actually, if I can. You have fun.
You too.
Thanks.
Don't let the nightmares bite. Or the terrifying shadows.
Believe me, if I find the nightmare that's chasing around Botrin, I'm gonna sock it in the face.
Haha. That's my girl.
It will know my wrath. And with that, she just kind of like kicks up her feet and closes her eyes and leans up. Like she's still sitting on this cot or whatever you're lying on, and just kind of leans her head up against the wall and just stills herself and just really like does that weird elf meditating thing.
You go into elf meditation, but you find yourself asleep for the first time ever. And you dream of your parents and what they taught you of protecting other people. So,
yeah.
Soren and Maximiel have their time on the deck together discussing what had happened. Is there anything else you wanted to add, or do we move to waking Isadora up to try to recreate this?
Let's give it a shot.
She's up against the wall like...
Oh. She's still... She's you know, she doesn't look as intimidating when she's sleeping.
If I'm being honest, I don't find her intimidating most of the time.
That's because you're not a foot shorter than her.
Oh. She'll sort of have that big, cuddly teddy bear energy that Dorna has.
Oh, yeah.
Pop Astrid onto her lap. Just kind of have her
She's
do the
drooling,
like, tail.
by the way. She's
in
like
the...
this. And there's just drool on her shirt.
You wake up two. Some strange cat meow, just like paws you in the face, gives you a little bap bap.
Tail brush
Oh.
underneath the nose as
Oh.
walks past you.
There's just
Yeah,
cat
it's like-
butthole right in your face as you wake up.
There's so much cat hair in my nose.
It's cat
Oh.
hair and owl feathers, like, and just that weird dusty like feather, kind
Or,
of
like,
the
dust.
sandy dust dandruff that comes off
Yeah.
feathers.
Yeah.
The dried oil flakiness.
Morning.
She actually had like a single like tear that was welling up. That when she wakes up, she's like, ugh. What's going on?
Allergies, definitely Soren. Allergies.
For sure.
Oh
totally.
yeah.
We just wanted to try it last night, almost accidentally, but intentionally this time, if you'll. Maximil.
Try what?
The snake
What are we
thing, whatever that is that you did, the snake that bit us. And,
Yeah. Let's do the thing.
if you can, I don't know if that's something you can just, do. But I've
you
just
know?
got experimentation on the brain here, and so I'm thinking can trigger this.
A new day.
Slightly
Yeah.
distracting in this area as you come in to Valecor Bay
Oh shit.
today. It gets much more narrow. You see a lot of this strange landscape, and in the distance you can see bioluminescent trees growing out of this landscape that it seems alien but natural to you. You can see the rocky outcroppings, but in the distance you can see the slight bluish purple glow of the forest that reflects that purple sunlight above you. And Isadora, are you attempting to recreate to the best of your ability what happened the night before? You explain and you look at Maximil. You've had the day to look at all the tapestry that's occurring as Spackle is finishing the entire vessel. You go back and you see the moment that Botrin and you enter the sewers, and you can see Botrin fleeing into the sewers, and you see Botrin fleeing through the scenes of you guys fighting the agent of Imana deep within the sewers and fleeing through the fight against Galaxel. And you can see two copies of Botrin, one that's engaged in the scene and another one that's fleeing with this girl as they move through. And Isadora sits next to the tapestry and shows you where she found the thread, and you try with no avail, grasping at that wood, trying to pull it back. But eventually, do you give in and show her what actually happens when you channel that ability? Yeah. So after attempting for a while, you brace yourself, select your friends around you, the ones that are awake, and Maximil, you watch as this burst of 12 divine snakes erupt from behind her.
Cartoon hard eyes.
Isadora, you feel like you can protect Maximil with this, and the snakes are not hostile towards Maximil.
So if it's Soren and Max that woke me up, and we go to the part of the boat where that tapestry was relatively near Botrin, if I'm going to pick the three people that I can extend this to, she starts to focus on this feeling of protectiveness, and she just can't help but put a hand on Botrin's shoulder as she's kneeling down by the tapestry by Botrin, and she just kind of like just reaches out and focuses on Soren and Maximil. As she does this, she boons the two of them and Botrin.
One of the lower snakes on the wing coils up around Botrin's body, almost as if it was to constrict them, but takes a protective stance, and you see it almost as if it was a cotton mouth from the southeastern United States. It rears its head up and opens its mouth wide to show off the bright white interior of its mouth in a defensive coiled posture. But You're not able to pull at that thread. You're not able to recreate what actually happened, but you can levy the boon against your friends and protect them for the minute that it's active. And try as you might, Maximiel and Isidore and Soren, there's no way to pick up that little bit of thread, that piece that would connect you back to Bryndoinum. That you know Bryndoinum clearly lays out for you as a trail to follow, but not something that you can just evoke at will.
Kind of pull Max in a little bit closer and just have armor on the shoulder. At least we tried. And hey, let's say this is neutral. She's not mad at you necessarily. She's not denying you whatever this weird tingly feeling is. You feel it too, right? That's not just me.
I
Okay.
it feels very homey.
It feels super weird to me. But I'm not familiar with how magic feels in the body, so I'm just trying to get used to it. It tickles a little bit.
Thank you for entertaining my curiosity, at least.
And thank you for showing me. That's damn. Yeah.
Honestly, I feel a little buzzed, like there's so much to look at when it happens, I'm already pretty large, I just feel like I'm taking up a lot of space when that happens. But also, when it comes to like wanting to protect my friends, it gives me this confidence, like I can do anything.
So, if there's nothing else, as you all...
She's waving her hand in front of Max.
As you all enjoy this conversation and try to figure out what this all means to you, you begin to pull into Valecor's Haven.
Isidore leans on Soren. It's Tuesday, isn't it?
It's fucking Tuesday.
As you begin to get closer, Therese sounds the bell. Everybody on deck. It's time for all of you to get off and me to sell this bucket of bolts. You all begin to pull into this strange harbor. In this bay, the large, almost cavernous feeling of this strange illumination around you, this ethereal bioluminescence, begins to open up into what you can see as a massive city in front of you. The first thing, again, that strikes you is that ethereal illumination. There's the trees themselves have either some sort of bioluminescent moss or fungi covering them, and glowing crystals kind of stud the streets in the harbor that give off this natural light blue, soft, otherworldly radiance. You see that some of the structures seem carved seamlessly into the natural rock formations, almost like they were grown rather than built. The dock itself shimmering with this subtle iridescence. You see intricate webs of almost like spider silk-like bridges that connect some of the very large, towering stalagmite-type structures that make up Valecor's Haven. Within it, coming up closer to the docks, you see plenty of feral and dark elves with their elegant, graceful figures traversing the streets and these bridges. But you also see deep gnomes, kobolds, darker skinned goblins, and dwarves as they move about the city. As you get closer, you see lush patches of luminescent gardens tended by these gnomes. They give this surreal, almost dreamlike quality to the shifting and changing dental pulsating light. On your left, as soon as you begin to get closer, you see, as most port cities have, a bazaar set up nearby. Therese tells you about the Abyssal Bazaar, this bustling marketplace of merchants of all different races of Eterna that share their wares here. Exotic goods, magical trinkets, valuable resources on display, and you can hear echoes from the distance of haggling and laughter. But as you pass through the large ornate archway that covers Valecor's Bay and with intricate carvings and glyphs, you see the entrance to Valecor's haven just beyond the dock. What Therese tells you is the Shadow Spire Citadel, a black obsidian fortress that looms like a sentinel, only dwarfed by the 3 large spires behind it that cast a dark shadow over this entire area. With an eternal purple star held firmly in the center of the skyline, these spires cast a bit of shade over this entire area, where below the street is marked with these glowing blue crystals to give it a bit of light. The citadel, however, looms like a sentinel guarded by dark elf Faerlin warriors, a constant reminder of the city's power and unity. Therese points out the 3 spires to you, the one on the left, the Spire of the Dreamer, the other 2. In the middle, the Spire of Council, an elegant structure that serves as a primary meeting place for the ruling council of Valecor's Heaven. You can see that same black obsidian, intricate carving that symbolizes unity and cooperation amongst the various races here. He tells you the council itself has representatives from multiple races as you're moving in towards the city, and that he recommends that at some time you find your way in to see the Spire's grand chamber. On the right is the Spire of Knowledge. It's a beacon of learning and wisdom within Valecor's Haven. It's constructed with more crystalline structures. Sorry, 1 second. Just responding to something. He tells you of the vast libraries of ancient tomes, scrolls, and magic artifacts, the collection of a lot of the knowledge of this region brought into this Spire of Knowledge. But sages, scholars, and researchers from all races come here to study and preserve and expand the knowledge of Eterna, and it's bathed in this soft perpetual glow from the crystals within. He tells you that to definitely visit inside at some time the College of Lorcana, Lorcana, Lorcana. But you all are brought into the port a few hundred feet from the entrance to the Shadow Spire Citadel within Valecor's Haven. And Batrin wakes up with a start.
Ah! You're okay!
God, holy fucking shit. That just scared the shit out of me.
Bear hug.
God.
Bear hug.
Oh.
We were so worried about you.
Batrin has always been thin, but he's even more thinner now. It's like he's emaciated.
Oh my god, you look
Food,
like...
I think. We should probably get you some food. You
do
look
not
stunning.
look well. Where's Mirabelle? She said she's got some good stuff on her, actually. We bought from the market.
Batrin manages to extricate himself from Max's arms and looks off towards the city and says, I have to see them. And then he starts to walk off the ship.
Oh,
Good to see you too. The Dreamers?
He turns and looks back over at his shoulder at Max and says, my brothers and sisters at the Spire of the Dreamer.
it feels metaphorical, but we should probably follow.
Alright, Spackle, you heard Daddy. Let's go.
Spackle puts the finishing touch on the ship. Looks back to Therese and looks after Batrin.
It's a good chronicle. You should sell it.
Drops her paintbrush and goes after Batrin.
A chronicle? What would be...
He said the name! He said the name! He said the name!
Batrin reaches down and takes Sparkle by the hand and continues to walk towards the tower.
You see almost a hurried step as Batrin, reminiscent of the paintings on the inside of that vessel, takes this young girl by the hand and takes her through the city, heading directly for the Spire of the Dreamer, ignoring all the surprised faces that all start to look towards the group of you on the edge of the ship.
Set.
But
Isadora,
that's where we're gonna end today's session because we're a
has a
little bit over
question.
time. Isadora
I can
has
see
her question
Max
next week.
doing one of those little Japanese girls.
But that's where we'll end today's session. Botrin running off with Sparkle/Spackle towards the Spire of the Dreamer. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us this week. We got 15 followers left till we break 100, so tell your friends.
Nice.
You know, let your buddies know. We really want to hit 100, and we'd love to see it. So, thanks for coming and joining us this week. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks because we are off next week. So, see you guys in a couple weeks. Have a great evening. Take it easy, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, Mom.
Mom.
Bye, Mom.